ball socket in, I'm just greasing it. So ultimately, you're going to end up with this end, you're going to end up with basically this combination. Like that inside of this guy. The other end, they just swap it around, and this goes inside, and then that goes like that. On the end, that's the steering arm by the wheel. So I'm just pre-greasing those fittings and putting them in the end. Alright, so we got the drag link back in. I'm on the steering end with the tire here. Shadow from the camera. So I've got that's a seat, a spring, and the ball seat in there, loaded inside of there already. Let's set it down over the ball socket, and then this is a ball seat and a threaded end. It's going to go in there. So I've got the boot. I just cleaned up these old boots. I wasn't able to find a source for those boots. I went to Bluebird. They don't carry them anymore. Ultimately, once this is tight, you're going to have to line it up with one of these holes here so that you can stick a cotter pin back in there. So I'm just going to go check the other end and see. So we're squeezing grease out of there already, looks like. So I preloaded that in with the spring in it with grease. So it's got to run it out of there. Alright, so I got that tightened down, and I had to back it off just a little bit, and then we slip a new cotter pin in there. Put some grease in there. See, it's starting to poke out a little bit out of all those grease fittings. So there's two on the top and then one on here on the end. So we're gonna close up this boot. Just has these like office envelope type. Kind of hard to do one-handed. I'm trying to film this in. Pull that snug up, and so that kind of keeps the grease in around that ball socket. So that fits the dust boot around there. I'll give her a couple more shots of grease just to make sure it's got enough grease in there that it doesn't fill up the boot a little bit. Bend this cotter key over. Alright, so I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. Tight in here. Cotter key is tough. Short leg of the cotter key on that side. Give it a little more. Take this long side, pin it back around. So I added enough grease in there so that kind of to fill up this boot a little bit, so that way, you know, the boot would keep, see that better now, so that the boot would keep kind of taut. Yeah, you can see now the boot is full of grease, and then it keeps grease in that joint. Alright, we're back up here by the Pitman arm coming off the steering wheel. So I've got this pack set up. There's already one of these in the inside of here on the back side. See this thing will focus. You can see the ball in there. So then you're going to put this set with the spring seat in there. That's going to go down up against the ball. And then the plug goes in. So you can see I got to put a ratchety wrench on my screwdriver to be able to turn this sucker in there. So kind of snug it up and then turn it back to where one of those holes lines up for the cotter pin. Stick a cotter pin in. From the top. Jeez, these cotter pins are tough. there, and we'll bend the long one back all the way around. Alright. Put some grease in it. Grease in there till I start to see it come out. I'm going to fill up this cavity. That ball's got plenty of grease around it, so it's starting to come out. This other side's going to take a lot of grease because it's got to fill up there's that spring in there. She's starting to come out now. So we'll close that boot up. Pump up the boot with grease. So we'll give her some pumps of grease. Put this one tab in the way of the grease fitting. I don't want to have a lot of grease coming out of there. I just want to make sure that thing has enough grease around that ball. Shoving it around the dang zerk. Oh, so there she's starting to pooch out a little bit out of that boot. Snug that boot up a little more. little more than it was. I'll rip or tear this boot because I haven't been able to find them, so. Center. All right. Go ahead. Turn it right. So we're going to remove this castle nut. This is on the tie rod, so I'm going to pull a tie rod out. I got a new tie rod in, so I'm going to probably go ahead and pull those off, but I couldn't get this adjustment loose, so I'm going to try pulling the whole tie rod out, see if I can loosen it, put it in a vise maybe or something, and then try to loosen it. So here the tie rod's installed. We got it wrapped up. We took it for a test drive and did it real well. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the video if you enjoyed it. And tell your friends. Thank you.